so we'll record this. I can't live stream it straight to Zoom because we are in the Kiko chat one and not in mine. So I'm going to record it though, and I will put it on YouTube for the folks that need to catch up with us. But I wanted to take this time to go through kind of the page and go through the pieces and the times and make sure for me, I know what's going on, and then hopefully that will help everybody else figure out what's going on as well. So thank you all for joining. This is, I guess, the last big thing before our event on Wednesday, which is insane and incredible. And I can't thank you enough for all of the time and effort and blood, sweat, and tears you've put into this thing. It is an incredible event. So let me share my screen. Actually, I'm going to go back to the very beginning part where you click on participate now. So let's start with that, and I will share that part. So as I understand it, people go to our site, they register, they then will get the link to come to the Kiko chat where they will need to register, like whatever, fill out their little profile thing. And then once they create their profile, they should be brought to this beautiful page that says, hey, you're here at the age of conversation to participate, click this. So I'm wondering, do we need like an arrow that says click that button, or do you see it enough that that's what you click?
No, even I was confused this morning because I don't ever go in this way. Yep. So even I was confused. I was like, do I hit participate now? How do I create an account? So that was a little bit confusing.
So when I was on with Lucas the other day, because he and I together added that please create an account thing. Because initially, if you don't have an account, it says sign in or RSVP to participate or something like that. So then they click on that button and it takes them to that page where they have to create an account with a new password. And then
the participate now does?
Not the so it says participate now here because she's already, Liz is already a participant. So if it's the very first time that you ever log in, Lucas told me, and I think it says RSVP or create an account or something. I don't remember exactly what that pink button says. And then, so you click on that first, and then it takes you to this other page where you have to enter your email and a new password. And he said to make sure, and I'm putting it in the documents, but to make sure that they use the same email address that they used to register on, I was gonna say Snapfish, but that's not it.
Through the registration page.
Yeah, through the registration page.
Maybe we need maybe that image needs to be like step one. Make sure you're logging in using the same email address, just to kind of, so they know what they're doing.
And do our speakers need to go in and register as well? I mean, they'll get the link for Kiko. Do they need to create an account?
I think Lucas has already done that for all of our speakers.
But they still need to go in and put in a password.
I don't think that's been done because a couple of the speaker rehearsals that I've had, and I've also seen some of the other comments, our speakers are having trouble getting in through Kiko because they have to first sign in and then join the video. Because the instructions that we're giving them are pretty much direct to join video, but they can't get to that without having a sign in and a password.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think what Lucas is doing is he's making sure they have access to Kiko, because right now only the planning team, the room parents, and speakers can even get in Kiko. So I've, as a default, been just slacking the speaker names to Lucas for the ones I've scheduled to make sure those are added, so at least they can get in. But then, yes, they will need to add their email address again and then navigate to the correct track.
Yeah, so should we actually give them instructions then on creating a sign-in?
Yeah.
I'm about to do calendar invites for my speakers. And in there, I was going to put down specific instructions like, please go ahead and sign into Kiko, and then you'll click join video.
I mean, if they've already, are you sending the instructions for the rehearsal, right?
I've already done the rehearsals.
Okay, and then they should
walk through the process by phone, because I just had them call me on my cell phone. For the
Okay,
rehearsal.
but if they logged into Kiko for the rehearsal, they should not have any issue going in for the real event.
Yeah, so my people,
Right to their session? Right,
I only gave them the Zoom account. So they're going to now need to go into Kiko through that other link that's on the page, on the schedule. There's two links now. There's a Kiko link and there's a Zoom link when we go into our schedules for like the woo
Right.
room. So am I giving them the Zoom? So let me rephrase that. So the rehearsals I have in the next 30 minutes, they've been given the Zoom account. So they've not been given the Kiko. Are they still going to have to go through Kiko to get to that Zoom room?
If they have a direct Zoom, it will just open Zoom and it bypasses anything on Kiko, which means if that's all those speakers care about, that's fine. But it means that they can't go into the central PERK area and chat with people. They won't be able to navigate to anything else.
So I need to send them that Kiko link that's on the top.
And maybe you could explain it to them and go, this is the link to the venue, basically, where you can access everything that's happening. This is your direct room if you just want to bypass the venue and walk straight into your room.
Yeah.
Okay. And that will still be live even next week.
Yes.
Yes. So just two quick notes on that. So yeah, it's fine that you gave them the direct Zoom. It's more of like a backup if there's some challenge with Kiko. But I just was reading up on the Slack everything this morning, and it sounds like the Zoom channels have changed.
Wait.
So I will be updating the running order document today to make sure every tab has the correct Kiko link and the correct Zoom link.
So Kate, if we send our speakers the Kiko link on the running order for our session, and that's what I use for the invitation for the day of, that's fine. And they can navigate out of that breakout into the main room after that, right?
So two things. If you sent them only the Zoom link, they cannot get into Kiko. They need the Kiko link to get into Kiko.
Yep.
And then I haven't gone into the running order. I don't know which Zoom links have changed. So I don't know if the one you sent is correct. There was just a note from Lucas this morning that some of the Zoom links have changed for the tracks.
Okay, so the link that I sent was the link that's been in there for like a week. So it was, I think that's the Kiko link.
There's both in there now.
Right, but 4 days ago, it was just the Kiko link, correct?
Then that's, I don't want to commit that it hasn't changed because I haven't done the double check. But I guess I'll just.
See, that could be a problem for rehearsals coming up in the next hour.
Yeah, it's a huge problem.
Do we know why they changed?
I have to look back in the chat. And is Lucas on the call?
No, he said he added rooms and it bumped some things around when he went to, he didn't realize we had already sent out the Zoom links. So when he added rooms, he kind of just copied and pasted and then renamed them appropriately. So then an old link might go to a different room. So yeah, that's what happened there.
But I will, when I go through the running order, I'll double check everything, but I'll make a note of which ones have changed so that I can let the correct room parents know who has a change. So then only the people who need to worry about it have to worry about it. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah, it's not ideal, but
we go with the flow.
We'll figure it out.
Okay, that's good conversation though. So, it makes me wonder, should we just not be sending them the Zoom link at all? Should we just make them all come in here if things like that are going to happen? So as you click in here, it should be, once you get in here, relatively easy to see what the rooms are. And then the hardest part is to explain to people that every time you click on one, it changes this pink thing. So I think that's from a navigation standpoint, that's my hardest explanation for people.
I look at this and I would just click the pink button. I wouldn't think to click a room.
Right. So, which is why, and I feel like maybe we don't even need the Age of Conversation Summit here. I can change that graphic to be like what this one says, the big pink button is your door. So maybe I can move that over and just say this.
It really needs, so I used to be a sign designer in my old world, which actually comes in handy here. So it needs to really be like one pick your room below. Make sure it is now highlighted in pink. Then click join video above.
But these aren't even the breakout rooms below from what I'm seeing. These are the sessions in the main room. Like when I got on here, I couldn't get into Unicorn Room. I had to go back to the running order and click that link, right? Those aren't
That's why. If you click that link, that button, that pink button at the top should change. And that's how you get into the room.
But where are show me the rooms.
All of these are rooms. So if I click Shift Happens, the pink button changes to say join the video for Shift Happens. If I click Unicorns and Rainbows, then the pink button at the top changes to join video for Unicorns and Rainbows.
It seems intuitive. We just don't know what
I feel like it's backwards because the top button has to be second. You have to go below first.
Yeah.
Find your room and join video. I think the fact that that join video button's up top left is the problem.
Well,
I don't know where else it should go, but
well, it should be like as Heidi said, like you have to have something that say to people, the big pink button is the one that you go, or this is the thing that you need to click, so people actually see it. When I was doing the rehearsals with the speakers, and the good thing is after they have entered Kiko, as all of us, they actually going to be prompted out in the correct room when I just need to put join room. So, but well, I went also and also opened this like Liz has done, and kind of say to them, well, this is the main room, is like the lobby of the convention center. So there's, if you scroll down, you'll see all the break rooms, like if this were appearing on the screen on the lobby center. So maybe.
Could you put a number in the arrows? Like, I love that it says click on the room name to navigate, but it's so low down, and that's what you need to do first. So it's almost like that arrow needs a 1 in it. And then number 2 arrow is the big pink button, because that's bigger. I do that first. So everybody's gonna end up in the main room.
Yeah, so what I can do is change out this graphic on the left to be the instructions instead of the logo.
And I almost want that, the first thing to say, click the room name below. Then go back up to the top and click the button.
Yep, I can do that.
Step 1, step 2.
Right. And that's what's confusing, because you normally do what's at the top first.
Right.
And I think it's just intuitively backwards.
Right.
Is there a way to make the room names a color so they're more easily seen? Because you see main room, it's pink, but then the other ones don't have colors.
Yeah, they turn pink when you go in them.
Yeah, it highlights based on the room that you're in. But I do agree, they are a little hard to see.
Yeah, you see the black first, and you don't really see the blue.
I would love them to be navy blue, the royal blue with white type. They would pop.
Okay.
Maybe that would help.
Liz, can you hover over like Shift Happens?
Yep.
Just so I can see what, if that's the color, normally that would be great. And then swap it. So swap the hover with the button.
Except the hover should be the blue of the rest of the dark blue, royal blue. I draw my eye down.
Okay.
I love these colors, by the way.
They're adorable. All right, that's awesome. So, and then as far as on demand goes, I believe on the day of, we are not putting any on demands anywhere, right? Because every on demand is being activated by a room parent. Is that right?
Yeah, we don't have any on demands that aren't scheduled as far as I'm aware of.
Get rid of it?
Yeah,
well,
so I can get rid of
we didn't have anybody that didn't want to be there.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So we're just showing them during the session time and doing a live Q&A concurrent with the pre-record.
Yep.
So what I will do with on demand, I'll get rid of it for now. And then as soon as we get the actual videos and are able to splice them up, then I will re-add on demand. And then for 30 days, people can come back in and watch them.
Yep.
Perfect.
Okay. Let's see. So what else would these? So on each main page, as you can see right now, I dropped in an image of the session grid, which is impossible to read even with glasses. So what I want to have happen is when you click on it, it will open up the spreadsheet or a shared Google Doc, maybe not ours, but a different one. I'm hesitant to do a shared Google Doc because if we have corporations joining, then sometimes Google, like it blocks them from seeing Google. Do you guys have any thoughts on that?
What if we, because I love the grid, but as far as ease, what if we did it by room? When they click on shift happens, it pops up just like this, but for shift happens only for that day.
I absolutely will do that, but that way, if we have at least one on the main page, then they don't have to click on every single room to see what's happening. But yes, I am going to do like column 1 here to be on the first one of each room. Yes.
Awesome.
Can we host it on a web page somewhere and have it embedded? So when they click on it, it does a pop-up?
Potentially, yes. I will see if I can figure that out.
Is that because, I mean, I assume when you click on this, it's going to enlarge. It's going to be bigger.
No.
No, because I
well,
can't.
this doesn't, but I just have that here just, for us to go through right now. But that's what I was trying to figure out, that so Desiree's saying if I can put it on a web page, then that would work. My first thought was just when you click it, it would open up a document or something, but I just need to figure out what's possible.
Or we make it a PDF.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think even corporations would allow a PDF to open.
Yes. Okay. Or PDF.
I know that you can do that though, because Lucas and I were talking about how to let people sign up for resumes and tarot card readings the day of. So he was talking about embedding a Google Doc here so that people can add their names to it. So there has to be a way. But that's
I think for those sessions, because it's only 2 sessions that we're doing that, I think that'll be okay, but I think it's too risky to do your entire agenda.
No, I'm just saying that I know there's a way to embed it.
Oh, you 100%. Like here in the notes, you can see that like this is an embedded Google Doc. So, and I was going to do the book that we're trying to write in a Google Doc, but then some of my my clients over at Dell and IBM said that when they click on these, they can't get it because their corporation, their VPN blocks shared Google documents. And so that's why Lucas had suggested just using this little embedded notes tool, because this doesn't get blocked by anyone and you can actually just type straight into that one. My problem with it is that it's individual. I think it's a different one for every single page, which isn't necessarily a problem because I'm going to have to go capture them anyway, but that's where I got lost in the spreadsheet idea, because if I can't put it in a Google spreadsheet because people can't access it, then it needs to be some other embedded thing. But I like the PDF idea. So when people come in, they're going to see all this stuff. They'll figure out what session they want to go to and what time slot it's in. And then they are going to navigate over to find exactly which room they're supposed to go to. And once they join the room, they then join the video for it, and they're in a Zoom. Now these Zooms, it is the same Zoom for each room, and it is simply open from basically 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Is that right? It never closes?
Correct.
Correct.
And then the participants just join in whenever they join in. So what I'm wondering, oops, I get my screen share back. What I'm wondering is, do we need to have some sort of warning that it basically tells people you are joining a Zoom meeting? Prepare yourself, turn your camera on, or just be ready to jump in a room, because I hate it sometimes when you think you're joining a webinar, but you're joining a meeting and you're like, oh, I didn't realize I was going to be on camera. So should we warn people?
Melissa, is that something you're including in the email to attendees?
Yeah, it does say that they are Zoom meetings and that you can choose to be on camera. We would love to see your faces, but you don't have to be on camera. But the explanation probably needs to be expanded a little bit more as to what
And
that is.
when attendees join the Zoom, they don't join with the video on automatically. They can choose.
It's in your settings though. You have to set your Zoom that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they have to know to do that. So I can certainly add, if you don't want to be on camera, set your,
I don't even think you need to say that necessarily. I would just, maybe we call out and say every single room is a Zoom meeting room, not a webinar. So prepare yourself accordingly.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's enough.
Yeah, because then they'll know.
That's a question we had. I guess in the background of Zoom, now that it has an update, you can set it so that people can't use filters. Do we care if they use filters or not?
Nah, let's let them do it.
Awesome, thank you.
Yes.
And Liz, the room parents will have a slide up in between sessions. So even if there's not an active speaker, there'll be a transition slide that has the agenda, so they'll know what time the next session is.
Perfect. So yes, I believe all speakers are being told that they're being recorded, right? But if a speaker has an objection to the recording being used, they need to let us know. Now, room parents, are we hitting stop in between each sessions, or are we getting, okay, so we hit stop at the end and then we get individual videos for every single session. Fantastic.
And I've got mine broadcasting to the YouTube channel, which I still don't have the info, but I was going to do the same thing for that.
Okay, perfect. And so the intent there, just so everyone knows, is because Heidi has the main room, and the main room is limited to 1,000 people because Zoom has that limitation. So if you're beyond the 1,000th person, you will be able to watch the broadcast of it here on the main room inside Kiko. So even though it's going to YouTube, it's not going to be like YouTube broadcast publicly for people to find without paying, but it will be piped in here to the main page so you can still see it without having to get into the Zoom.
That's awesome.
All right. My notes, removing the on-demand, putting the Excel or figuring that out. What other kind of user experience moments do you feel like need to happen here for people to find their way? Denise, help me with that question. If there's a way to make the notes section smaller.
So when I first came into Kiko, I actually thought that the video was going to be where the note section was. So it took me a while to actually find join video for the Zoom. So I'm just wondering if that's what other people are going to think as well, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and I feel like on every, so what's going to happen on every page, you won't be dumped into this notes page. It will be like it is in the main room where there's a graphic here on the main page. And so I'll have instructions every single page you go into. Right now, as you see, if I click on one, they've got the graphic on the top left changing. It'll be similar to that on the big screen. That will change as well. And it'll just say, welcome to the Shift Happens room. And then, yeah.
And that happens when you hit the room you want to go in?
Every room, yeah. So it's like, okay,
so
you
maybe
made it
that's
to the
what it
hallway for the woo-woo room. Now to enter the room, click the pink button.
Right.
You know?
That's what I was going to say. If that says it there again, yeah.
They just have a lot of graphic design work to do for each of these rooms.
Yeah. Is this what I'm curious, is this what it's like at the end when you're building a platform? You're like up to the week before doing all this?
Yes.
Okay.
And sometimes you can pay extra and have the platform company do all
them do it. No, I mean, I'm curious because I'm a graphic artist, so this would be more work. Okay.
Yes, you can definitely offer to make these things for people. Yes.
Right, but you can also have the platform. Okay.
Yeah, you can have the platform.
Okay.
Okay. Is there anything else that needs to go in any of the rooms? So I'm going to have the main agenda for each room, and then I'm going to have the embedded book notes page. And then does anything else need to be there? Like this one has agenda, on demands, example notes, example draw. Any other tabs?
So what are the example notes, example draw about? I mean,
so when we're doing our
like I left one.
Yeah, it's awesome. When we're doing our spontaneous think tank, we would be using Mural. And so Lucas just put this in here to show me that we could actually just use Google Slides and we wouldn't have to use Mural, and that way everyone could access it. But I'm not going to do that because Mural, it needs to be time bound to the time that we're using it and not all the time. But I like that this is in here. So maybe we could use this as like an old school bulletin board, leave a note for a friend kind of thing.
Found pair of shoes in.
Liz, where will attendees get instructions about these different tabs and understanding what they're for? Will that be in your main page graphic on each?
Yeah, and it's right there. Each room has additional engagement options. Add your notes from your session to share with others who couldn't join. So I can update whatever that says. But I didn't, again, this was a sample one. So I will be prescriptive now that I know what each room's going to have, and it will change per room.
Can this graphic be wider so your room thing could be bigger? Or because it looks like an 8.5 by 11.
Yeah, but I think so. I have challenges with that because I have this huge 38-inch monitor, and so I can't tell when the graphic starts getting cut off because mine's not normal. So I need help knowing how big it can be.
Okay, right. Depending what happens, it may get cut off before.
Yeah.
Ah.
So I tried to keep it to where I knew it would be okay.
But that's interesting. Okay. Yeah, this is all part of that.
So question. When they are in their Zoom meeting, how is there a way to get to these notes pages? I'm just trying to think, like if somebody doesn't have, 2 screens or whatever, do you just need to minimize the Zoom meeting to get to, how do you get here to take notes?
Yeah, so it's
during the session.
Yeah, I usually would just have this, like I do right this second. I have my browser open and I have all of you open on Zoom, so I can still see you talking and I can be here doing stuff. So that's just how I normally work. So
that only works if you have 2 screens.
No.
Well, you can minimize it and split it on one screen.
Yeah.
You can have your browser half your screen and then your Zoom window half your screen.
All right, so I need to play with that and figure out how to do that. So I can
yeah, so do you have yours maximized to take up your whole screen?
Yeah.
Well, on the top right of the Zoom, you've got the X and then you've got the 2 little squares and then the minus.
Yep.
Do the 2 little squares and then you can adjust how big your Zoom is.
So, okay, got it.
Central PERK is the one, oh, that's what else was going to be embedded in it. Okay, spatial chat. So it looks like he hasn't done it yet, but there's a tool called Spatial Chat that I will pull up to show you. That is going to be a tab in each of the rooms, and you can, it's basically like these little bubbles of people, and so you can meet people as though you were in real life, like in the hallway. And so that's just going to get embedded as a tab, and it will be officially, we're saying Central PERK is where you could go for small group dialogue, so you could go in there, but we were discussing if it should be embedded in each of these rooms. Is that overwhelming that it's in there too? Yeah, okay, so we'll confine it to Central PERK. Oh, there it is, Cafe. So you would jump in here and then you would see any of the other people and you could like bump into them in the hallway. So it's, just another opportunity for people to test out a new tool that they could embed into their own virtual events. Try it out, maybe actually meet some people. The Central PERK room is where, so we'll just have it embedded in Central PERK, and then we are also going to have that Zoom room in Central PERK for Marco, the celebrity stylist. Is there a room parent for that one? No, okay. So Nicole and I are managing that one then. And as I mentioned, Nicole has agreed to dye her hair live on Zoom during that session. So
what color? I'm dying to know what color.
I think she's just gonna do her normal brown, but she actually ordered his products to do it with.
Oh man, so. I think she needs to totally bleach it and do like purple or something.
Yeah, pink one.
Pink. That's what I want to do with my gray. I want to put pink in.
Yeah, I learned how to cut it too.
And cut it too. Bangs. He was fun. We talked to him yesterday, and he was just a joy. He is Josh Brolin's stylist.
Mm-hmm.
amongst others. Okay, spatial chat. So I'm going to fix that to only be in here. I've got the agenda. I've got the notes. Anything else you can think of that needs to be embedded in here? Okay, and then how do we, I just need to mess with the graphics here and try to make this graphic be as descriptive as possible without being as confusing as it is.
So I would put the Age of Conversation Summit at the top of the chart and put the arrows over where you have the Age of Conversation.
Yeah.
It's probably, so everybody who walks in the main room is what's clicked automatically by default.
The main room, correct.
Okay, got
How
it.
hard would it be, and you can tell me, Desiree, go back on mute. How hard would it be for one of the tabs to have the video link embedded in it? So if somebody were in the room and they're clicking on the tabs, trying to figure out where to go, one of the tabs is actually either in the embed or is the link for joining the video for that room.
That would be brilliant. I will ask Lucas if he can do that.
The video meaning the Zoom or the pre-records?
No, the joining the actual call, because the Zoom link is the same all day long. What if we have that link in an additional spot embedded in the tabs in each of the rooms?
So not to replace, but add like an additional.
No, just be an additional spot. So if someone doesn't see it up in the left and they're clicking around in the rooms, they could stumble across it in a second.
That sounds like that's a really good point that we have the Zoom link for each one. So I think I can do that just by going into edit and making that tab be an HTML link. I think I can do that.
Ooh.
I will.
Right. And we could even go one step further if we want to create a graphic that says click to join the video.
Yeah.
You know, and have it a clickable link that way too.
I think that's a great ad.
Yeah, it's been a long time since I've done HTML code, and he was telling me yesterday that I could do and I could actually do a dynamic page with embedded code, and I was like, that's cool, but it's not 1995 anymore, so I don't remember all of it.
Let me know if you need help.
Okay.
I know how to do all that, so.
Okay. I can read it, but to remember it, to type it, it's been a moment. I love that idea. Okay, that's great. What other attendee support? Oh, I know. Did anybody ever figure out like profiles and how to find people? Do you just click on us? And then you see, yes, you see who we are. So is that maybe in a pre-event notice that says fill out your profile so people can find you and ask you questions and hang out?
I think it should be.
Because to your point, Melissa, you found me because you saw my little avatar in a room and you were like, oh, she must be in that room.
Yep. Stalking.
Mm-hmm. This is awesome. Okay, so now let me run through agenda. On Thursday night, September 8th at 10 p.m. Central, we are going to Thailand for our unrestricted hotness trip, because we usually do these things on Fridays, but Thailand would be the wrong time zone. So that's why we're gonna finally get to do one live in Asia. And hold on while I screen share this so we can see it a little better. Share this. So I'm starting with the outside of normal hours just to walk through them, which will be this one. So this is the night of the 8th. And then the morning of the 9th, we have a 6 a.m. Central Time session, which is being led by someone out of EMEA. So I'd really like to get some EMEA participants there. Of course, we can also hit any East Coasters that are going to be 7 a.m. and if they want to join before their day gets started. So that's to get the word out. And then 8 o'clock, it is in the main room, right, Desiree? The spontaneous think tank. Okay, so Heidi, you and I talked about that yesterday, that you didn't have that, but it is in your room. So from 8 until 10, the spontaneous think tank, we will be using breakout rooms for that one, theoretically, if anyone joins. And then that will be, it says 8 to 10, we're gonna try to squinch it down to from 8 to 9:45. So it'll be like a mini spontaneous think tank where we show everyone how to create their own spontaneous think tank, giving away all of our secrets for just $20. And then 9:45, we'll try to cut that and have that, at that point, people should be trying to join the main show.
Okay. And so I should start in there. Well, my time it's 9 a.m. But should I start in there then?
If you can join at 9, that would be amazing. Yeah. But if it wasn't on your schedule, Nicole and I can handle it.
No, it's fine. Hey, I'm all in.
Awesome.
I'm just doing it in East Coast time.
That's right. And then at 10 o'clock, we kick the whole thing off with the grand main show. And then we go into this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful hot mess.
Which my room changed again today.
Your room changed? What do you mean?
Yeah, I have a new session I have to add before Rachel. Where it's empty, it's now full.
Oh, okay. So that's what I'm waiting for.
Liz, that's included in the changes that I just sent to you right before this call.
Yeah, I don't know where Simon was, but
he was in another room. He has a time conflict, so I was able to squeeze him in right before Rachel, which honestly, after viewing Simon's website, I think that's a better spot for him anyways. He's a main room kind of speaker.
You know, it was funny because Michelle wrote me, because she had Lisa Bodell, and she's like, do you have Simon in there too? And was not happy when I said no. So
well, because originally I wanted Simon first because he's got high energy. I thought he'd be great to kick off the morning, but I actually like him better in the main room once I did a little more research on what he's talking about. So
I'm gonna have a lot of coffee that day.
Yeah. Just keep the whole pot right next to you.
Oh my.
All right, so Simon will end up being there and I'll get those details.
Yes. And I've already changed all the slides in the Google Doc, and because I've been downloading them for me to keep them on my computer. Okay.
We do have in the Unicorns and Rainbows track, there's supposed to be another embedded tab for an arcade. So Gary Boardman is giving us one of his really cool arcades that you kind of navigate into, and then groups of people can get together and play games within the game. It's really nifty. And then he has a session talking about it later that afternoon, but that should be there all day. So 6 a.m. and then that one, Central PERK will be open all day for people to jump into that spatial chat. We have our main our think tank, and then we have the big kickoff, and then there is a session going on in every single room just about for the next 3 hours there, or 3 hours. And then we have nothing except Rachel, because she's now at 1, not at noon. Cool. And then we go back to having something in just about every room. And then nothing going on at the 5:30. Is that 5:30 or 6:30? If time math, that's 5:30. Except song division, and that's going to be in the main room, right? So I'm going to change that. And then our very last thing after song division is done is that chef-torial thing where I have to go find a ball gown and we're making mac and cheese into a gourmet meal.
Add lobster.
Yeah, he actually told me to get lobster, so yes.
Yeah.
That's how we're doing that.
Are you gonna really wear a beaded ball gown and maybe a tiara?
I need to get a tiara. I don't have a ball gown. I have a dress that I was gonna wear, but I was too self-conscious to wear in public, so it'll be fine on the internet, right?
Totally.
Tarot card readings, we now have they're happening in a room, or so are they like in a locked room? How's that one work?
They move into a breakout at their specific time.
Got it.
Who's the room parent for that?
That's in Woo Woo 2.
Anyone?
Kate or Anne?
Yeah, I'm pulling up the running order. If it's in the afternoon, I think that we are still assigning that one.
No, that one's J Hall. Can you hear me?
Yes.
J Hall.
Okay. And then so Melissa, you saw to add the
yep, already done.
Additional for Rockstar.
Actually, it's funny because the first time we sent it out, the 5 slots filled in minutes, like seriously in minutes. And I had one gal email me and say, oh shoot, I missed it. Please keep me posted. So as soon as I got that email today, or the note today, I emailed that gal and said, you've got 2 minutes and then I'm going to hit, add, go sign up right now. And she did. She was so excited.
Awesome.
So yeah.
That's so awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Liz, for that one, while she's in a reading, there'll be a slide up in the room saying, you know, our tarot readers in a one-on-one, please wait your turn type thing.
Okay, perfect. And where's the resume review one happening on the schedule?
They have their own room now.
We had to create an additional room for them.
Yeah.
So that is, you know what, I don't think it's on this version of the schedule.
Right.
So it'll work just like the tarot card room after, is it Kelsey? I totally just spaced her.
Kelsey. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. So Kelsey will do her talk, and then immediately following, she's got a time slot, but we also have morning time slots for the resumes as well.
Yeah, and Des, I actually sent you an email about that last night, so I need to talk to you offline.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
But yes, they have their own room.
Cool. I saw that.
And it'll work kind of the same way. It'll have that slide up and then the breakout with, please wait a minute. We're in a session.
Fantastic. All right, so I think Carrie is working on updating the grid, I believe. So once I get her final updates, and then I can bounce the resume review times up against that, because I took Carrie's original one and then added in the after hours stuff, so we have it all on one page. Cool. And then I think the last thing I need to do is go back through one more time this session guide thing that I had, so that people can see, just scrolling through chronologically, what's happening and all the descriptions, because there's really no good place. Some of these descriptions were so long that you just can't see them on the website, on the Reg site. And then that Reg site's nearly impossible to navigate with 85 speakers. So.
Yeah, it's a lot. I was scrolling through it the other night and I was like, ooh, yeesh.
Uh-huh.
Can we add attachments when we send something through Splash? Or actually, no, the attendee emails don't go through Splash.
They
right?
do. Yeah,
They
do.
do.
Yeah.
Okay, so can we add attach? So I was thinking, again, for the know before you go, to add the grid as an attachment, but I wasn't sure if we could.
I don't know if we can or not. I will check. I'm looking to see. Let me get in one of the emails. But what we can definitely do is put a link,
sure,
so that they can pull it down from where I've been linking it to.
Yeah.
I'm trying to open new. Let me just hit new email and see if it's an option to do.
Okay.
And you can attach a calendar invite. You can attach countdowns, images. No, it doesn't look like you can put an attachment in. It'll have to be a link.
Good to know.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay. This is good. Well, I feel oriented. So now I feel like I can make a really nice little video that kind of walks people through all the steps. Whether or not they'll watch the video is a whole different thing, but we can create it anyway and walk through the pieces.
We can only do what we can do.
We do what we do. I mean, the thing is, it's like, I know that we're in it and I know we're worried about confusion and things like that, but I don't know how many virtual events you've been on since March that are in a tool, and every single tool is a disaster to try to navigate. So no one has quite figured this thing out except for Zoom. And Zoom doesn't permit 2,000 people to get in there nice and easily and move around either.
Do you want the session that now is in the main room that you're starting at 8 a.m. on the main slide?
Sure.
Because we're running out of room. I'm gonna have to turn the main slide.
Well, I mean, it's like, if people join it, then they'll be in it. So they don't need to know it's coming. And then by the time it's 10 o'clock, it will be passed.
It's done, right. That's what I'm thinking. So it's like a bonus to come in early.
Yeah.
Are we sharing the outside of normal hours? Are we highlighting those somewhere in communication?
I'm trying to figure out how, I mean, they're in the downloadable guide, but I'm trying to figure out how to get across to people some other way than the grid that they're happening.
Announce it. I'll add it in my know before you go. It says other cool things that are happening.
Cool.
So I can add.
Yeah, it's like, they're not that far out of, I just changed on the website, instead of 10 to 5, I changed it to say 8 to 5. It's really just that 6 a.m. one that, actually maybe I changed it to say 6 to 5. Like,
so many people want to be part of this. It just keeps getting bigger. So
I'll add it too.
We don't need to take that first session onto YouTube because it's not going to max out. It's not like an advertised room.
I don't think it will.
Okay.
I mean, our normal HDs, we get between 80 and 100 people. So
I'm not worried. Yeah.
Maybe we'll get about
And you, for the breakout sessions, are you doing it like you do it with the topic and then move people in based on what they want?
Yep. So I may just have you, either you move them.
I can do that.
Or that would be amazing.
Yeah, I got it. I'll eventually get breakout rooms right. I've messed them up a few times. I'm demanding all my clients to give me a preloaded CSV.
Oh. Yeah, not with the think tanks because they have to choose on the fly.
Yeah, you get to choose, but you taught me something new. Like, I love this because everyone's got so many amazing, like everything.
You have to try something and fail in order to learn and do it better the next time.
Right. So your idea to change your name and then everybody moves to that room based on me.
Exactly. Okay.
Brilliant.
Anything else?
I think my question is this. It's tight, 10 minutes. You know, the room leaves and you're going to do the green room and then you kind of want to welcome people. Are we doing that between sessions? Are we supposed to like talk? Because I think Kate did a beautiful job the other day. You did, like, you know, like a practice, you know, like welcome to the, you know, room and we're excited you're all here or whatever you did, banter, you know, where are you from? Put it in the chat. Do you want us to do that to like get the engagement up? And
I would say maybe like the 5 minutes before it starts, but I think you can give yourself the break, you know.
Well, we have to do the green screen with the, you know, the green room with the tech, with the speaker. That's what I'm thinking. Like,
oh yeah.
I mean, it might only be 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, the priority is definitely like thanking the prior speaker. Hang on one second.
Right, because I'm trying to.
Do you have to do that right now?
I'm just trying to like kind of. I think all of us like feel more comfortable with the dialogue, like, and you know, thanking the speaker. Obviously.
Yeah, so the priorities are thanking the prior speaker, showing the transition slide. Like, here's either stay here, move to another session, and then I'm now going to bring in our next speaker. We're going to do a quick, you know, tech check. You're welcome to stay here for that.
So you want to write that for us?
What's that?
I said, you want to write that for us? Just so we kind of all have a similar.
I mean, it's in the checklist. It should be in the
is it in the checklist? Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's all I was asking.
Yeah. But then when the tech check is done, I mean, do what feels comfortable to you. If you
definitely. No, yeah.
Yeah, if you want to engage the attendees and start a conversation verbally or in chat, great. If not, if you need like, you know, a few moments between sessions, whatever. I mean, yeah. You're not allowed to do that during your session. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, but if there's time, then yeah, if you want to engage people or get them to chat with each other, like whatever.
Yeah.
Bring you to the transitions and, you know, whatever works for you.
Right, because this is the age of conversation. So I'm like, we should be conversing.
But also you have things to do. And also the way that we're running this is literally everyone sees behind the scenes.
That's
so
what
it's like the open kimono of, hey, it's a tech check. Hey, it's a speaker joining. Hey, it's kind of the whole thing.
Yeah, I think in explaining that to the speakers, they thought that was pretty, you know, interesting too.
Cool. Okay. Well, I had reserved 90 minutes for us in case we had deep, scary, horrible things that we needed to go figure out, but it sounds like mostly I need to go get graphic designing and then we'll have this thing all set up.
And then for setting up polls and things, we are going to get the keys to our Zoom room, or do we send those on to someone to do for us?
Yeah, if you could email them to me, please.
Okay, email them to you. Perfect.
Awesome. Anything else? Cool. Well, I have my marching orders. Thank you all for everything. Thank you for walking through that with me. Make sure that I got my bearings straight. I can make a video and we can drop them in the attendee emails and just keep telling people we exist. Thank you. Have a wonderful weekend.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.